everyone, this is Joanna. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Today's video is all about fall, and you know how much I love this time of the year. My craft room is just full of pumpkins and fall colors, and I brought my stuff from the attic that I'm going to decorate my house with in a few weeks. But I'm going to create two larger pieces for you guys. They are all made with items from the Dollar Tree, and the Dollar Tree really came up with some amazing stuff this year. So with that being said, let's get started on DIY number 1. So I have those 3 wooden pumpkins, and I'm also grabbing some joint compound. And a nice thing about those pumpkins is that they have 3 pieces that are actually sticking up, and those are the pieces that I'm going to add some texture to using my joint compound. Now you can use spackle or any other method that you like. I really do like joint compound. I feel that it's just easier to work with. It goes on smooth. It's easier to create texture that I'm looking for today. I have used spackle for a variety of different projects, adding texture to different items, but today this is it. So you're just going to take silicone brush and you're going to start applying the compound to the pumpkin. Now this is ready to be dried, and you can see how beautiful the texture is. Right now it's still wet, so you can really adjust things if you need to be. So I'm going to spray it with paint spray and metallic. It's kind of bronze, and it's not going to be too shiny, so it's not a big deal. And I'm going to add some bronze and some copper paint, and I'm using sponge to apply the colors to the texture parts of the pumpkin only. And I'm actually using one sponge for both colors, and I'm doing it at the same time. So I kind of grab the copper on one side of the sponge and the bronze on the other, and that's how I'm applying the color to the entire pumpkin. And I think that the texture has come out so nice. I love it, and those colors are very fall-like. I tried to apply just bronze, but you really want the copper in there as well to emphasize that this is fall, really. So now we're going to just let it dry and continue on to apply ribbon. Now this ribbon is also from the Dollar Tree, and one roll was enough for 3 of my pumpkins. So you're just gonna cut maybe a yard. I think it comes with 3 yards, so let's say a yard for each pumpkin. And because the ribbon is much thicker than my stem of the pumpkin, I'm just going to fold it in half, and I'm going to tie it around the stem. Now I know many of you guys know how to make a bow, but I'm just going to show you how I make a bow. Now first of all, ribbon is so essential to this pumpkin because the fact that the ribbon has some wire in it, just gonna make things so much easier on us. So I start off by creating this really tight bow. I mean, it's really tight because that gives me opportunity to pull things out, pull things in, and adjust the bow to the size that I really want it to be. So now we can add a pumpkin. Those pumpkins come with the little clips, so you can clip it, but if your pumpkin doesn't have a clip, just glue it to the bow. I just think it's just such a pretty touch that it is adding to the whole piece. And I'm also going to add a couple of fall leaves. I'm not even going to glue them. They just go in behind the ribbon. But I wanted to show you guys a trick that I'm using, and many of you guys will be like, oh my gosh, we have been doing it all this time, that I'm using in order to make my bow even nicer and to save ribbon. Well, I cut off the stem of the bow, and I'm sure that you guys can do it in a much better way. You can see I'm crooked all over, and I'm going to keep the piece that I cut off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to the bottom of the bow after I fold it. So basically I'm going to fold it. I'm going to put some glue with a glue gun on it, and then I'm going to tuck it in, and it's just going to add a little bit more volume to the entire bow. Now you can even fluff it so the bow is even fluffier, and you can do it on the same side, and you can see that that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm cutting the other side, I'm going to fold it, I'm going to add some glue to it, and then I'm going to put it underneath and make sure that it dries before I do anything else with it. But look how pretty the bow looks. It looks so full, looks so much nicer than it would have if I didn't do that part. So this chain has 3 chains attached to the center chain, and so basically it's for hanging baskets from the Dollar Tree. So basically I am going to take the main hook that is on top, that is going to be my hanging hook, and I'm going to disassemble the chain, so that, for example, my top pumpkin is going to have a short chain, and then I'm going to attach other pumpkins to my first pumpkin, and actually the third pumpkin to the second pumpkin, but I'm going to show you guys that in just one second. It was really difficult to cut the chain, so you're just better off grabbing some pliers and adjusting the size of the chain with the pliers. So there you have it. You just create a little hook from the chain, and this is attached to the main hoop on top of this hanging chain basket holder. So now I'm grabbing another piece of the chain. I'm going to attach that to my top pumpkin, to the chain on my top pumpkin, and then I'm going to make sure that it's long enough to get to my second pumpkin, and I'm going to attach it to my second pumpkin, the back of my second pumpkin, and then I'm going to continue on to my third pumpkin, but you can see right here how I'm doing it. So this is going to be holding my second pumpkin, then I'm going to grab another chain, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing, just cut off a piece and attach to the second pumpkin and make it go to the third pumpkin. And here you can see it on the wall how they are all attached one to another. And this is all from that chain for the hanging basket that you can probably get in the spring at the Dollar Tree. Well, I was not done just yet with my project. I found this word thankful, and I decided to paint it with the Waverly paint and plaster. And then I looked at it and I'm like, you know, this is way too white for my piece. So I got the pumpkins and I kind of tried that I'm using for the piece, and I kind of tried to match the color to the pumpkin's color, and that was ivory mixed with white, and that was way better. And there you have it. I took some of the brown paint and I put it on the edges, and it matched it so much better. I love the way this piece came out. It's perfect when you have a small, narrow, tall spot on the wall or in the hallway where you'll be able to fit it. The texture came out spectacular. I just absolutely love it. What an awesome project, and it was so easy to make. And for my second DIY, I'm using styrofoam cone and some of the pumpkins, and the pumpkins have the clips in them, so I'm just removing the clips from the pumpkins. Now if I had to do it again, I would not use styrofoam cone, because it really does not attach to the glue. The glue is not attaching very well to it. So what I had to do is I had to take some pins, like metal pins, push pins, and add glue to my pumpkins, and then add the push pins into the pumpkins so that I could actually take those pumpkins and push them into the styrofoam. So if you guys are going to do this project, use the green foam cone. That is much better. It's going to take the glue much better. It's just overall way better, but that's all that I had on hand. So now that the pumpkins are ready and the push pins are in, I'm just going to start attaching them to my cone in a completely random order. And I have so many of them, I don't know how many I'm going to use at this point. I use probably 8 or 9 of them. And then I'm going to go in once all the bigger pumpkins are in. I'm going to go in with my medium pumpkins, which are those little sticks. They come already on the sticks, and I'm just going to fill in the blanks, and if there are any spots that are open, that's where I'm going to put those guys in. And I ended up actually using even the little pumpkin picks that you can get. I use them actually towards the end just to fill in the blanks as well. But there you have it. I'm just creating this pumpkin monstrosity to say the least. It looks great, and the push pins are working fantastic, so I'm happy at this point. And now let's add a little bit of greenery. Now these are nice fall colors, so I'm again, if I see styrofoam sticking out, I'm just pushing the greenery in there. It really brings everything nicely together. I really love the way this is coming out. This is my first topiary, especially pumpkin topiary, so I'm super excited. And the leaves, I didn't want to leave the leaves alone, and I'm using the leaves as well, and I put them in actually by themselves. So let's use everything that we have on hand pretty much. So I did mention those little miniature pumpkin picks. This is a great time to go and put them in there. You can see that I have done that right there. I have them in, throughout my little topiary, and it just looks so beautiful. The colors came out so great. I displayed it on a candle holder that I had, and I cannot wait to bring it out and have it in my family room over the fall season. So what do you guys think about the projects today? They are all completely done with the Dollar Tree products, which makes them so inexpensive, and the texture on this particular project just makes it look so nice and fancy and high-end. I just absolutely love it. Well, make sure that you guys comment below. Let me know what you think about those projects and if you give it a try. And my friends, till next time. Ta-ta!